I've played a lot of free-to-play games in my life. One of my first PC games was Team Fortress 2, which had loot boxes and all, but I never felt like it was predatory or anything like that. Compared to the free-to-play games today that prey on FOMO with rotating shops and limited items, or gacha games with predatory monetization methods, TF2 was certainly friendlier. I'll admit it, their methods work. I've fallen victim to it countless times. Yes, I bought Hatsune Miku on Fortnite and I haven't played the game since. Yes, I bought $100 worth of Stellar Jade on Honkai Star Rail just because the double bonus was resetting, and I dropped the game months after. These companies know how to bring out your wallet, and it shows. It's been a long time since I've played a free-to-play game that didn't have some kind of predatory monetization model. That is, until I returned to Warframe. When I say returned to Warframe, it definitely shows my age. I picked Loki as my starter frame, and when I came back to the game, I asked, what the f is Endo? Warframe has been around since 2012, with a full open beta coming out in 2013. My middle schooler mind could barely even process what a microtransaction was at the time, so I just enjoyed a free game for being free. I saw that there were things that cost some kind of currency that you could get with real money, and I left it at that. I never knew that pretty much everything in Warframe could be obtained for completely free. Everything for completely free sounds great, but what even is Warframe? I wouldn't play a game just because of how it's monetized. So let me explain it. Warframe is an online looter shooter. In other words, you can gather friends to kill things and get materials and items together. The game revolves around these ancient space ninjas called the Tenno, who have recently reawakened in the middle of an intergalactic war. They pilot Warframes, which have different abilities. There are 62 unique Warframes to collect, and the game starts with you picking between Sword, Magnet, and Lightning. Of course, these aren't their real names, but they're pretty close, aren't they? Their powers are pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, there's Fire Warframes and Ice Warframes, but it definitely gets weirder. Like riding a fish hoverboard around the map, or a fat guy eating everything on the screen weird. There's a Warframe for everyone. You've got a lot of the basic elements covered. Fire, ice, electricity, water, poison, you know, the guy that does all of it. If you're a fan of Counter-Strike, you can try Mesa or Site09. Mesa has aimbot, and Site09 has wall hacks, so it's like you never left. Want to mind control the whole map? Try Nyx. Are you a fan of pregnant women? My point is, there's so much variety that you're bound to like something. These Warframes all use various weapons. Everyone has a primary, secondary, and a melee weapon, and there are hundreds of each. There's also a handful of different companions, like dogs and cats, or floating robots that suck everything in, or robot dogs that shock the entire map. To top it off, you can also use mods to change the properties of your Warframes, weapons, and companions. Combine different elements to get completely new ones, with different status effects. With hundreds of different items and mods to collect and use, there are endless synergies and combinations to discover. Rocket launcher spreading napalm all over the map? We got that. Gunblades? Yep. A sniper rifle that summons lightning bolts? Of course. There's bows, laser guns, grenade launchers, and giant arm cannons. My personal favorite is the Cerberus, a lever-action burst rifle that's recently got an incarnate form. This form lets it upgrade itself into an AoE monster, applying blast status on hit, blowing up enemies near the target. This new form was the whole reason I came back to the game in the first place. And the best part? All of what I just talked about can be obtained for completely free. Yeah, you can take shortcuts and buy what you want with Platinum, the premium currency. But you can opt to grind out the materials for pretty much anything in the game. The early game of Warframe revolves around completing missions on each planet, collecting materials, and figuring out which items from the market you can build. Building stuff in the Foundry takes time, but there's no need to rush it. There's years of content to experience in Warframe to enjoy at whatever pace you want. Take a break and come back at any time. Chill on the ship. This obsession has turned into the great despair. I keep thinking I see you and there's nobody there. Try out new weapons, level them up, and increase your account's mastery rank, which unlocks even more items for you to discover. You can get new Warframes from the boss of each planet and various quests in the Codex. Warframe is a game of discovery, so simply progressing through the star chart with new items from time to time will give you an idea of what kind of playstyle you enjoy. Once you've found a Warframe and a weapon you like, you can make them stronger with mods. Crit chance or damage, ability range, strength and duration, or various elements. You can only fit so many mods on your weapons, and you won't have access to all of them immediately. You can double the mod capacity and add slots that will reduce the cost of mods with certain items, but you should invest those on things that you really enjoy. You don't need a perfect build to progress through all the missions, and if you play in the public lobbies, there's probably a guy nuking the whole map anyways. So just use what sounds cool and don't worry about what's the best until later. After you finish all the basic star chart missions and a few quests, this will unlock the Steel Path. It's like killing the Wall of Flesh in Terraria and unlocking hard mode. Everything is much harder and more resources will drop. This is when you would want to start looking into better builds and how to get the mods in those builds. But again, there's no rush. You're not going to go through 13 years of content in a few weeks. Yes, there are Warframes that clear faster than others or literally can't die. Yes, there are weapons that obliterate the entire map in one click. You don't need them right now. Set a few goals to work towards at the start. Think, today I want to get this weapon or this Warframe. Think, I'm going to do this quest. It's going to make the game easier to digest. And yeah, there's a ton of content to experience. The star chart has the basic missions like exterminate all the enemies on the map or capture a marked target. Spy missions have you sneak around enemy facilities and steal data, but there's also infinitely scaling defense and survival missions. Later on, more unique game modes will show up like Alchemy, Void Flood, or one of the best, Void Cascade. And if the grind is too much, you can take a break while fishing and hunting in the open world areas. Oh, right, there's open world areas. 3 of them, actually, all with their own factions to meet and bounties to fulfill. Warframe has been around for so long that there's almost anything you can think of. Space missions? Would you prefer wings on your Warframe, or to pilot your own spaceship with a whole crew? Do you want a roguelike experience? There's a game mode for that, and a Warframe. Amazing story with deep lore? You know it. Warframe just has everything, and it's all high quality. It's so easy to get lost for hours on so many different things, and they still update the game all the time. So, what does the game look like when it gets updated? Every couple months, a new patch will come out. A major patch will come with a new Warframe and their weapons, like the most recent one, Nako. He's a mushroom guy, and you can obtain him by grinding out bounties in the new area on Fortuna. I'm very fortunate, and I got all of his parts in less than 10 runs. If you're not like me, there's a kind of pity system that you can access after a good handful of runs, where you can just buy the parts you didn't get yet. Outside of these major updates that have new Warframes, there will be minor updates that introduce Prime Warframes and their signature weapons. These are enhanced versions of existing Warframes with higher stats and pre-installed polarity slots for mods. I'll demonstrate how a veteran player grinds out his desired Prime Warframe. Today, I want Ureli Prime. To get Prime items, you need to open relics, which drop from many missions. Ureli Prime is somewhat new, but some of her relics are already taken out of the drop table. I actually don't care about that at all. You could farm specific missions to have a chance to get her specific relics, and then party up with others to increase your chance of getting those parts. That's time consuming, especially since it depends on how lucky you get with the drops. Some pieces are a 10% drop chance, and even having 1 out of 4 people hit that can take a while. I'll try it a few times, but I'm not gonna count on my luck being great. Instead, I just opened random relics and bummed off of people that are luckier than me. Nah, but I'm actually looking at what items I already own and completing full sets of items I don't want. Because, in Warframe, you can trade with other players for platinum, the premium currency. Once I gather enough platinum, I can just straight up buy the whole Ureli Prime set. Maybe a newer player can't exactly do all of what I just did on demand, but you can open any relic and sell individual pieces for like 5 plat. Day by day, you can grind up enough platinum to buy whatever you want. The Warframe market site makes it extremely easy to sell things you don't want and buy what you need. So if all of this is available for completely free, how does this game even make money? They sell cosmetics that make your Warframe look cooler or even human. There's attachments like armor, capes, and auras. Most of these cosmetics will cost platinum, which can be bought for real money. But like I mentioned earlier, you can also trade items with players in game for platinum too. That means you can grind out some of these cosmetics for absolutely free. Various other items like Forma are some of the best sellers on the market too. The only items that can't be bought with platinum are N.M.H items and Prime Access bundles. N.M.H items are cosmetics made by the community, and the creator actually gets a cut when you buy it. Prime Access features the newest Prime Warframe and limited availability cosmetics, so a lot of money is made through cosmetics and items that provide convenience. Wow, a free-to-play game with no battle pass, no FOMO, and no gambling?
No way! Say you swear to God! Say you swear to God! Put that on put that on Allah! Say wallahi, bro! Say wallahi!
It sounds amazing. Well, all of those things do exist in this game. But the battle pass is completely free, and limited time items are generally cosmetics, and they will come back regularly. The gambling? That's completely optional. There's something called Riven mods. They work on specific weapons, and you can re-roll the stats on them infinitely.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it! Aw,
Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it.
This will definitely suck up all your kuva, but what else are you gonna do with it? You can actually turn an insane profit or show love to one of your favorite weapons. Either way, that's completely optional and it doesn't harm anyone. So all in all, I 100% recommend Warframe. There's nothing else like it. It could easily place in my top 10 games of all time. Many games have tried to be similar and I've tried them. Curiously enough, if I had to describe them, it would always end up being Warframe but blank. So why not just play Warframe? Thousands of hours of content, so many different playstyles, limitless creativity in builds, and an amazing community. It's also one of the only free-to-play games where I actually want to spend money on it.
55.3 thousand? Who the fuck would buy this shit? Ah! I just bought it!
The devs deserve so much, and I don't mind taking advantage of a login discount here and there. So check out Warframe for completely free on almost any platform you can think of. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and feel free to subscribe. At the very least, give Warframe a shot. I'll see you guys next time. Later.